Okay, we are going to go into Zendaya. And
Val.
Yes, and Val. And, you know, what a cute couple together. But she is 16, which I loved his comment. You're so pretty. How old are you? 16. I take that back.
Yeah.
That's great.
No, it's funny for those of you that might not have kids or do interviews with Disney Channel stars like I do from time to time. A lot of people are like, who is Zendaya? But she's on the hottest show on Disney
big
Channel.
Star.
Shake It Up, yes. So I think that this is exciting. I think she brings a fun energy. You don't know what to expect with her. They were doing contemporary, though. There they are on the dance floor.
It was one of my two favorite dances of the night, given that there was contemporary and looking past that. But it was one of my favorites. I think they're fantastic. I feel like she's a little bit like Bambi, her legs, but I think that's because she's 16. But she's amazing. Like she could go really, really far. I feel like it's a couple to watch.
And she looks like she's got some competitive fire.
Oh, yeah.
I think she does it. I mean, she's truly a dancer. She's a working dancer, so she knows how to learn choreography. I think contemporary is very different to the cha-cha, very different to the quick step, so I don't really know how she's going to be in frame yet.
Right.
Goes back to what you're saying, who knows if she can do ballroom dancing yet, but she is a talent, and Val is a tremendous teacher, which we saw from last season with Kelly. So I do agree they're going to do great things this season.
Yeah, I think so.
We loved what he did with Kelly Monaco last season. That was incredible. And again, just pulled out performances. So they're definitely a couple to watch. But again, I get frustrated when I'm like, it's not ballroom.
I also really feel like I've been following people online. By the way, he writes a blog, and it's fantastic. I definitely, you should read it. He's come into his own. You know, last season set him apart from being the brother. You know, and now he's got his own huge fan base, and I think it's gonna be exciting to watch them.
I think it is too. They got the highest score of the night, 888, for a total of 24. So it's a great way to start out of the gate. She's going to get a lot of votes from her younger fans, so she definitely will be there. You know, probably towards the end of the season.
If they can stay up that late.
Can they stay up that late until 10 p.m.?
Come on, please.
You can DVR it and watch it after school the next day.
Right? Exactly.
But can you vote? That's
Right.
Question.
That's the important thing. You'll be like with your cell phone underneath the covers at night.
Next up, we have Zendaya and Val.
Yay! I love
With the Jive. And first of all, I loved her costume. I know I always comment on the costumes, but I mean, how could I not?
Of course.
Gorgeous.
It was sick. So sick. Like, and her body just looked everything.
The girl has lines. Gorgeous lines. I'm going to go to you guys, but I loved it. So let's just start there. And also let's say that, you know, that everybody out there loved it because they chose them as the encore dance. So,
on Twitter.
On Twitter.
That was
Thank you.
It was trending worldwide too.
That was
last night.
it?
Yes. Yes. So.
Amazing. Okay. What did you think?
I think she did fantastic. I think for 16, first of all, she's 16, so she's amazing already that she's doing that. And her maturity, how she approaches everything. But she's just a pure talent. She really is. There are a few moves that she did because of the speed and because she has really long. It was a little bit like a Bambi.
That's what I called her last week. A little bit.
A little Bambi. But I give her props because she, you know, whatever dancing she did on her show. What's her show?
Hip hop. She did a lot of hip hop.
Yeah. Shake It Up. There's a lot of hip hop, and it's a different type of movement. So she's doing a fantastic job. I think Val is doing a great job with her. He's really grooming her to be this gorgeous dancer.
In their opening segment, they were showing her walking in heels, and she was. I was nervous, and then she comes out, and it's not even an issue. Like her placement is so perfect in those heels, and I love that. And I just like that she sells it the entire time. Her face, you never see like a slip-up moment. It's always on. It was like cougar. Like, I was just like, that's amazing. And my favorite move from the whole dance was when she dropped down and her leg was out to the side. And it was just like this line that kept going. And then she went through Val's legs. And I was like, this girl.
It's gorgeous.
Final two. I will say it.
Yeah, okay.
I will say it. I'm confident.
Top 4.
I definitely think top 3. Now.
I am scared because people like Sabrina Bryan, who was amazing on that one season with Mark Ballas, she went home super early, and she was incredible. So it's just a matter of people really voting for her and pulling through, because they can't just depend, oh, she's great, she's going to make it through. That's not going to happen.
What she has going for her, though, is her youth. She's so, like, lovable. She's really, really likable. And that's a huge deal on this show.
It for sure is.
So, Kristen, you want to comment on Zendaya and Val?
Yes, I love Zendaya. And one thing she does have an advantage over other contestants, the shape. I don't think people realize Disney Channel shoots for 9 months, which is a lot longer than some other shows like that we see on network. So she's actually rehearsing and picking up choreography each and every week. And even though it's different than hip-hop, she does have the ability to pick up steps very quickly because she's doing that week in, week out on her own show.
That is true.
So I think that's one area where she does have an advantage, and they can spend more time cleaning and making her lines more precise and everything else. So I think that's going to take her all the way at least to top 3.
And I also made this note while I was watching it. She reminds me of Nicole Scherzinger from a few seasons ago with your Evan Lysichek, who I loved, the two of you together.
Well, thank you.
And we'll talk about that. And I thought it's her lines and her kind of really skinny arms and legs. That reminds me of Nicole.
Right.
And they're both kind of up, I feel like.
Right.
Yeah.
In their posture, I agree.
And that's great.
Yeah,
I love that.
I particularly like their package, too, though, because it shows the transformation that she's going through, you know, from the heels to the, legs kind of doing one thing and the arms doing another thing.
That was cute.
And a personality, too. I really enjoy this couple a lot. Obviously, I think they're one of the best on the show.
Absolutely.
So their score was 26 out of 30.
Pretty deserved, I must say.
Yeah, and I want to say that I mentioned it to you guys earlier, and I wonder if you all agree, and Kristen, tell me if you do. In her encore dance, she was even more confident. I was like, that to me was like a final dance.
Right.
That's how good it was.
She gave it all. Like, she really went for it.
And she knew what she was doing.
Yes.
There was no timid.
Nerves.
There was no nerves. It was, that didn't you see that?
It was in her body. You know, when your muscle memory, like, it's there. You know where to place and where to go. She had it.
Confidence booster from the day before. That's how I saw it.
I think so. I think she was like, I got this, and then she just went in and did it. She's like, I get to do it again, and I don't get to be judged. Yes.
And everyone at home voted for her on Twitter. Like, that's a huge confidence booster right there.
Absolutely.
That people really voted for her specifically.
Yeah. We are going to be seeing some amazing things from them.
I can't wait.
I'm really excited about it.
Zendaya and Val, there's not much else to say other than it was really sweet.
Really
Viennese
good.
waltz, so charming, so sweet, so innocent.
She's fantastic. I think she's great, but I think some people kind of forget that she still puts in all the hours that she does.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, she doesn't choose how many hours she can put in. No. The law does.
The law does. And she has
and she has school too. She puts them hours in.
True.
Yeah,
she's got school.
So it's easy to kind of go, well, she's 16, she should be able to do this, she should be able to do that. I know 16-year-olds that can't do that. You know what I mean? And I think it's an easy kind of thing to go, well, she can do it. She should be able to do it. She's doing this.
That's not true.
Right.
Can I just say that the most impressive thing to me about Zendaya, and that's why I think when this show is done and done, she's going to become a huge star. I just have that sense. She's
big with the Disney Channel set. She'll be bigger than that.
But not even that. Like, there's the quality about her that when she dances, she connects every single emotion to her movement, and she's so natural when she's emoting and performing, and you can't teach that.
Yeah.
Definitely not a 16-year-old. She just has it. She has it in her.
You see, like I've seen her in rehearsals, and this is a 16-year-old with the focus of a 28-year-old. You know, she's just spot on with everything. It's a great matchup with Val, because Val is very, he takes so much care of his celebrities, and he really thinks about it a lot, and so it's a great match between the two of them. And you could see it in that one line, in that jive that they did. She did this one line, this ronde check line, and you could see arm was straight, leg was turned out, everything was like picture perfect. That is dedication.
That's gorgeous. True. And they were rewarded with a 24 on that.
I think that's right.
And she was queen of the prom, by the way. Yay. Okay, let's move on to the second half of the dances, and we do get into doing the Samba, where 2009, when, gosh, Zendaya was only, what, 12, was when she broke through in Hollywood and her career started.
Right.
What do you do when you're 16 and super famous? She's adorable.
She is very sweet.
This girl's going to be a star.
She's,
star.
I picked her and Val already to take the whole thing. I'm not trying to, you know, talk any, like, I'm not trying to make my partner feel any lesser or anything, but I don't think I could deliver like Zendaya. Zendaya is awesome.
Baby Beyonce.
Jacoby and I, we call her Baby B.
Baby B?
Yeah, me and Jacoby, we call her, who's that Baby B?
She's so cute.
She's awesome.
And she can't rehearse as many hours as the adults.
She's awesome, though.
She's so good.
She's like such a natural. She looks like one of the pros.
She is. Yeah. She's great.
She has so much attack, and she hits those lines and everything, but there's so much control in it. And her
solo
face
was legit.
What was that?
Yeah. It was like a little bit of Michael Jackson in there a little bit.
That was awesome.
It was beautiful.
The best part about it is I actually invited one of my best friends, who's Austin Brown, and his mama. This is Reba, which is Michael Jackson's sister.
Wow.
And Janet and Michael's nephew. So they were there, and they got to see Zendaya, and she pulled up the Michael Jackson thing. I was like, that's awesome.
This is the best week for them to be here.
That's great.
I don't think Zendaya even knew that. I'm going to tell her that.
Oh, yeah, you should.
She would love that.
Yeah.
I wrote down that I'm so glad she is a role model for the kids that are watching her, because I think she's going to inspire them not only to be really great people, but also go into dance later in their lives, and some people that wouldn't even think of that. And I'm glad that she's on this show. And if I had kids, I would be so glad if they were watching her and wanting to follow what she's doing.
She's a great role model, because she's like this normal kid who is working very hard and but delivers and just is so genuine and honest. So that's why you look at her and go like, she's gonna be huge.
We are looking at
a couple years, she's gonna blow up.
Yep, I think so. I mean, she's on Disney Channel and she's huge there, but it's gonna go way bigger than what we're seeing right now. I just also want to give a little credit to Val. He's had two really different partners over the last 2 seasons. You know, Kelly Monaco and with Zendaya, different levels of talent in terms of dance, but they both are showcased so well.
Right.
And I think that's really a credit to his teaching and choreography.
And I think they also showcase him really well, too, because his movement capability is amazing. And with these partners, especially Zendaya, he's really allowed to show what he's capable of, too, and I like that.
Great point.
He's an awesome dancer.
Incredible.
They got a 26 on that.
Fair.
I thought that was fair. Len gave them an 8. The other two gave him a 9, and I was a little bit like, come on, Len.
Yeah, me too.
Len is a hard cookie.
I know he is. And, you know, he's funny. He fluctuates. Sometimes he'll give a little bit higher than Carrie Ann and Bruno, and then he's down a couple points sometimes.
He just wants to be different.
He does. He dares to be different. Who knew? Okay, we move on to Zendaya, Val, Anna, and Max.
And another one.
Look at that. Doing the tango.
Yay!
All right, I want to know, I mean, what has it been like working in studio? Because you probably had reduced rehearsals because you have a 16-year-old in studio with you.
Right. Yes, I actually, somehow it turned out that I actually worked with Zendaya and Val, like, whatever Max was there, or for some reason, like,
or Max when he was showing up to rehearsal.
Right,
way late.
No, it's just our schedule was off because this is what guys don't know. Like I had a previous commitment to out of town for Friday, Saturday, so I wasn't there, and Whitney actually stepped in.
I did.
Whitney.
For
Go
Max.
to, girl.
She's the savior here.
No.
Little lady.
I would not say that.
Okay,
yeah.
I guess we shouldn't say that.
I tried.
But she, big helper.
Yeah, it was
cute.
hard. It was hard, not gonna lie. I had to learn it in I had to learn actually all your numbers in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So here you go. Here's a bunch of choreography. Now we're gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So Whitney had to step in and kind of help out with the group parts, but I was able to sort of do, because we had to do 4 hours with each couple, and I sort of was able to do my own 4 hours with just people, right? So Zendaya, I actually ended up working the most with, I think. So when Bruno commented, you were, just as good as Anna, I'm like, yes, because that's kind of like the thing. I actually worked with her probably her and Kelly I worked the most with.
Well, I'm going to ask this question because I keep hearing it from the fans, and I'm seeing it in the YouTube comments, and everyone is getting upset saying Zendaya is a ringer and that ABC is propping her up. And I, you know, she's a good natural mover, but they're saying she's a hip hop dancer, she knows how to dance, and I'm like, being able to do hip hop does not make you a good ballroom dancer in my mind.
It's completely different.
Well, let's start from the top. Okay, if we're talking about ABC pushing, who do we have on the show as well?
The Bachelor. The Bachelor.
Hello. I mean, there are little connections here and there everywhere, and I mean, listen, Allie just came from Olympics. She has like a gazillion millions of followers on Twitter. Like, is that ringer? No. I mean, I think every single celebrity that is in the show have a certain demographic. They have certain set of talents, and they have certain, like, it's very, very balanced. So, and I mean, Jacoby, hello, Mr. Personality, who just won the Super Bowl ring. Like, I mean, does that make him a ringer? Because
well, and I also get, well, this is the other thing I throw out. I'm like, well, Kelly has a natural dance ability, and they're like, but she was a cheerleader, so it doesn't make her a dance ringer. They feel like ABC.
But cheerleader, you have to dance.
Yeah.
Exactly, but here's the thing. This is what they're saying. They're saying that ABC purposely put in Zendaya knowing that she could take it all the way to the top and win it because they want to make her a star.
I'm going to yawn. That makes me want to yawn.
And the thing is,
it just,
and the thing,
I mean, because we could sit here and probably take somebody from each couple and say, well, this is why they are probably going to.
Well, and that's why I argue. I'm like, you can take Kelly in this situation. You can take Allie and her gymnastics ability, because I think we know we're probably the top four at least are going to be Jacoby, Allie, Kelly, Zendaya.
Right.
The thing with Zendaya, that makes no sense to me. Sorry, but you know,
and the thing is, like, think about Nicole Scherzinger and Sabrina Bryan. Like, they have dance backgrounds.
They did,
especially Nicole.
Yeah, like that's their whole thing.
I will say this: look, being a hip hop dancer is completely different. However, what it does give her is the ability to probably pick
memorize
up
routine.
Right.
Yeah.
She's dancing on set.
Definitely has like an upper.
That is true, but also just seeing her, what she was doing on Wednesday and then what she brought to the floor on Monday. You guys, the improvement was incredible. Like, people see the end result on Monday, but they don't see the whole journey. And I was there when she looked awkward, actually. I'm sorry, Zendaya, I love you to bits, and you know that, but there were moments which were awkward, and her legs were not quite there, and her long arms, and
she has long little limbs, and
you know, she has
even in the
skinny
routine.
long limbs.
She hasn't grown into her body yet, and you do see it.
Of course.
You see it in the dance.
The fact that she brings it all together is because she just works a lot, as much as she can, because she's 16. You know what? After working with her, she is so humble. She is so sweet, and she is like a sponge, right? I love students like that because they just take it in and then process it and able to bring it out. They understand, digest, and then able to perform it. And if that's her quality, and in a 2 years she's going to blow up, I'll be like, yes, and that's exactly why she's a huge star.
Yeah. Whitney, I have a question, because this came from Jade, too, about Zendaya, and you guys are closer in age than probably some of us over here.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that they wanted to know, you know, she's the youngest, but does she feel like she's pushed out because she is the youngest? Is she as close to everyone because she doesn't have the opportunity to hang out? She's got school and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see her as much. I don't know if it's different for you, but she definitely has school, so she's not really around as much. But I mean, I've talked to her, I've hung out with her a couple of times. She's so sweet, so humble.
So nice.
And what I love about her, she is, like you were saying, very hardworking. Her work ethic is amazing. So for someone to say like ABC is like making her this big star, she's making herself the star.
I like that.
You know, her work ethic is phenomenal. So
So I would like to put this argument to rest, everyone.
Exactly.
Dun, dun.
Yes.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
And with that, their score was, we saw our first 10s of the season.
Yay.
Yes. 29.
So happy.
Well deserved.
So happy.
Well deserved.
Little Len with his 9, of course.
It's okay. A little honest touch. I know. On the what?
Oh.
On the what? On the touch? On who? On Len?
No.
On Zendaya.
Oh, on Zendaya. That was actually, I was
Len.
like, huh? Len? No. 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 No, it was great. Like, I just loved working with her. And we had to with the ways that, and she said in her little, not, you know, a grown-up woman. I don't know what the heck that means, and it is weird. And it's probably Argentine Tango is probably one of the most sensual dances, and her being 16, it's just weird. Right. So she had to. I helped her a little bit. I'll take a little bit of credit, a tiny bit. But she needed to come up with some solutions mentally. And the thing is, you guys, what makes her so good is not just her dancing ability. Good, she's fantastic. It's her being able to commit to every single dance's character. She's actually a very good actress first, and then a dancer. Do you know what I'm saying? And because she's able to commit, then sometimes you're able to oversee some little technical mistakes because she's just so committed to executing it with her emotion and her body, and just like what you were saying, like that intensity.
In her eyes. Never leaves her eyes.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to... Let's get started, and let's just dive right into the dances. And we had our first couple of the night, which was Zendaya and Val doing the cha-cha. Now, one thing I want to mention, on Twitter, I had seen Ali Raisman, and then all of a sudden Zendaya was going first. Does anyone know? Did you know about order?
She mistweeted. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going fourth."
Okay, so first, maybe it was an autocorrect issue?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good to know.
I screamed when I saw her costume, the only one of the entire night that I liked.
Yes. Yeah. That gold, silver, black. It was amazing.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Go ahead.
No, please go.
No, I think the costume was appropriate for her. Like, I like the way they dress her. They dress her, I mean, it's still a ballroom outfit, but they dress her as a 16-year-old doing a ballroom competition should be dressed.
Covered up, but
nothing,
still, the legs are nice.
Yeah.
Is she going through another growth spurt, though? I swear to God, her legs are even longer. And she's a little gawky right now.
Yeah, it
looks even lean.
Yeah, gawky the whole season.
But I feel like she has grown like 2 inches. You know, when you haven't grown into your body. Yeah. I noticed that, and it could have been the
her legs
costume.
are like forever. But that Paso Doble outfit that she wore, phenomenal. The legs.
And when she was kicking down those stairs, I was like, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Tony said that Val put a lot of gave her a routine.
Yes, she had like a full-on technical cha-cha routine that you can take to a ballroom competition and just do that. Like,
wow.
It was a lot of content. It was a lot of technique that she did, and in the rehearsal you could see that Val was really tough on her, like kind of very tough. But that's why, because she came out on Monday and it was simple, it was clean. Everything was where it should be. All the details were there. So I'd say yay.
I know. I loved watching that. And 29, it was a 10, a 9, and a 10. Great. I mean,
that was beautiful.
It really was beautiful. I do think, like, I do agree with Len on the 9. I know she got a 10 from the other 2 judges, but I think there were a couple things that I noticed, even from...
Yeah, I thought 10s were a little generous.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You think so?
I thought a 9 was perfect.
Why?
It didn't breathe 10 to me. Sorry.
All right.
That's how I feel.
It was I have to say, it was a very technical, solid performance. Now, in sense of the showcasiness, like, I think Val on purpose kept it very simple to be like, here, this is how good this girl is. She doesn't need all the extra fra-fras. She can just go out, do a routine, and still kill it. So I think it's good to do that sometimes, because they had the little gimmickies with the Argentine Tango, right, the week before. So I think it was good to tone it down, and probably next week they'll bring it back up with the theatrics.
Yeah.
Can't wait.